What's up, Internet world? All right, well, I had a list there, and the list is gone, but I'm going to play some original songs, I think, today. I was playing with one that I play with my band, and I just was messing around with it solo, and liked how it was sounding, wanted to share it, and wanted to mess around with the loop table a little bit. Figured I'd just go ahead and stream it. I'm gonna start with I'm gonna do some cover songs as well. Feel free to hang out and make requests if you like. So this song is called Back to California, and I wrote this song in Nashville, Tennessee. I had rented a lockout studio and had driven all my stuff from California to Tennessee in my van and just kind of set it up in this lockout studio. And I was in Nashville to do a album release show for friends and family, and whoever else wanted to come. I did one at Kimbrough's Pick and Parlor. Was joined by people across the country, and it was a great night. And yeah, I'll never forget that night. I'll never forget things about that night. And but in prep, I was in this lockout studio, and without going into like crazy detail, at some point in the experience, I just had this sense that I was going to go back to California. And it was around the time I was engaged to my wife, and we traveled out together. And I don't know what else to say really other than to play this song. So this is a song I don't play too often, and but I like it, and I'd like to play it more. So here it is, Back to California. I'm gonna try to set this up on the loop. Gonna go back to California, rest my head. I'm gonna go back to California, spend some time with my friends. I'm gonna go back to California. Wish that I could make the change I wish to see in the world, but I know I can only change myself. So I'm gonna take to the road again and love a special girl. Then we'll go back to California, and I'll rest my head. Then we'll go back to California, spend some time with my friends. Then we'll go back to California, back to California, back to California. Oh. Something in there. You can hear it. Hey, Holly. How's it going? All right, this next one is called American Grace. No, just play it. Don't like what I'm seeing about how folks are treated and what we've been saying and what we've been being. But we can change all the time if we want to, and bring a new day. We can be free, and if we let our hearts guide our actions, it'll be a new day. I wanna see. Don't be afraid. Don't let yourself be corrupted. Just be brave. Your soul is worth it. Spread your love. Let us feel it. It's a new day. It's time to fly. I will not be here forever. This is the day to try. Dancing in the same place, all of us together. It's American grace. All of us together, Grace. My band is playing this year at the Edisto Blackwater Boogie. Really excited to play some of these songs, including that one. That one is a total blast. Hey, Mom. Welcome to the stream. That one is a total blast to play for... I'm in Bend right now. That means I might be playing now for Aunt Carrie and Uncle Dave. You never know what your audience is going to be when you go on these things. So that was a song called American Grace, and it's a really fun song to play as a band, and it's a big kind of rock anthem kind of song. And yeah, it's a blast. We played it last year at this festival. We're playing again this year. And also last year we played it at an event called a Mimosa Fest. And at Mimosa Fest, that's where it was awesome at the Boogie, but at Mimosa Fest it was really cool just because of how involved so many of the people got. I think it helped that they were all drinking lots and lots of mimosas. But what the song is all about, if you listen to the lyrics, the core of the song to me, there's a lot of setup, and but the core of it is all of us together, dancing in the same place. All of us together, it's American Grace. All of us together, dancing in the same place. All of us together, it's American Grace. So, but the core of the song is that's the goal, is that everybody puts their differences aside and comes together and realizes we have, limited time, the precious time to just be together and enjoy it, and share and stuff like that. And but also that it's not necessarily going to be an easy journey to getting there. But that's the core of the song. And when we got to that, the dream is that when you're singing those lines, that's what's happening. and we got to live that dream out at the Mimosa Fest, and it was a total blast. Just all different types of people, all together, just dancing in the same place. And probably too many of them came up on the stage, but it was fun nonetheless. The stage didn't break. I asked the sound techs after, the people that set up the stage, was that a little too much? Like, this is your equipment, maybe I need to be a little more on it with, controlling who comes up here. But we were just kind of in the moment, and just so many people wanted to come up and celebrate and be on the stage. There is a line, but for the most part, everyone that was coming up was just really in a great spirit. I think in the right spirit. They weren't trying to take, the experience for themselves. They were really just rejoicing in the message. So that was awesome, to get to experience that, see that, and have something you write, be useful. And we played at the Boogie, and the Boogie was really cool because I led into the song with the national anthem on the guitar, and something I'd never done before, and it was just awesome to lead into it. And I guess I'll leave it there. But we'll play that song, and we've got a bunch of other songs like UFO and whatnot. My band's called Noah in the Space Ark. If you haven't already, check out. We put out some songs out on the interwebs. So if you look for Noah in the Space Ark on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, we got UFO, La Ventana, and How I Can Say Goodbye, all out there for you to listen to. I think we're going to do American Grace probably pretty soon. I'm thinking about doing a video. for that. Yeah, Holly. Yeah, what I've gotten to be around the world, a lot of places around the world, and what I always see, and I don't think this is novel to me in any way. Anybody that I've ever talked to that's traveled kind of has the same experience, and that is, if you meet the people of any particular country, it seems we're all kind of the same. You know, we all have the same basic needs and wants, and for the most part, it's not true about everywhere. You know, there are differences, and there are some differences that matter. For example, I think when my wife and I went to India, they're pretty aggressive. The males are aggressive in a way towards the females, in a way that I found to be inappropriate. But you know, it's there's cultural differences, and sometimes things seem inappropriate just because you don't understand the culture. But I do think that we've got to be able to say that sometimes there are developments within different cultures that just aren't okay. And anyway, but for the most part, the people that I meet everywhere are very similar and are pretty open and are pretty kind, and that's just been my experience. And so, yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like it's the politics that divides people, and you know, the things between the powers, the national powers, that end up creating a lot of the problems. But when you connect the people, they just get along. So trying to think what I want to do. I want to do How I Could Say Goodbye. I'll do acoustic version of How I Could Say Goodbye. I really like this song. Drinking some water. Sorry, that was kind of loud. I really like this song. I wrote this song during COVID, during the whole COVID stuff, and it was just at a time, like, I don't know, I felt like I just sort of ran into in my own opinion and my own experience, I ran into a whole bunch of disappointments. You know, just it didn't seem like things were working out like I hoped they were going to work out, and you know, that's life. But and then you look around. I was looking around the world about just how crazy things were going to be, or were developing, or seeming, and yeah, I just had this sense of I was ready to say goodbye to the world, and I don't mean that in a like. I guess I'll just say this word. You know, what would I say? Age warning. If there's any kids watching, walk away. I don't know. If your age, I don't know what the appropriate age would be. You know, it's all so ambiguous. You know, all the different rules. It's all so up to each person and their own development and their own readiness. And then the internet kind of makes that impossible. But I wasn't suicidal, but I just felt like I was okay with moving on from the world, and I didn't have a lot of hope anymore about how things might turn out. I was just kind of over it. It's like I don't have a lot of faith left in people, and I don't expect it to get much better. And yeah, something along those lines. And so, was ready to say goodbye, and that's kind of what this song is about, but it's also about realizing how much preciousness is here, how much love is here, and how important that is, how much that's more important than any of the bad stuff. And so, and then it's also coming to terms with how you can, when you realize that, how is that, it puts you in this catch-22 where you're like, when you realize how incredible life is and you really understand it, and how precious and beautiful and special and profound and all that it is, then it's like it's still a kind of a catch-22, because you're like, well, that's still messed up, because why would God put us in this situation where it's beautiful beyond belief, it's unbelievable, it's so precious, and yet he's going to force us to all have to say goodbye to each other, and maybe never see each other again. If it's God, or if it's just the reality, whatever you want to chalk it up to, whether it's God or whether it's just the situation we're in, it's just, you're in a catch-22 where you're like, well, this is still a screwed up situation, and it can still take you to a place of sort of nihilism, and so that's really what this song is about, is when you're confronted with how compelling nihilism is, and how much maybe the devil or the world tries to convince you that nihilism is the only way, or is inevitable or something, that you can still choose love anyway. There's a cool, I think that The Matrix captures this really well, if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix. And that is, I think it's maybe not even the first Matrix, it's one of the other ones. And the agent, the evil agent or whatever, that's the computer program, is telling Neo, this incredible man or whatever, that he's telling Neo, why do you not just give in? It's inevitable. You can't win. You must see that. And why do you not give in? Why do you not quit? And Neo says, because I choose to. I choose. Why do you persist? Why do you persist? And he says, because I choose to. And it's all in that. It's that, I think that's what where there's beauty to be, where the beauty is found, is in your own choice to believe what you want, your own choice to act out your belief, regardless of the circumstances. And I said that for a while, but that's kind of what this song is about. It's called How I Could Say Goodbye. I'm ready to say goodbye. Been ready for a while, 'cause all my love slowly turned to hate, and now I'd like to drift away. Until then I can do whatever I want, 'cause nothing matters anymore. Then you came, shattered the illusion, and now all I've got is a question. How can I say goodbye to you? How can I say goodbye to this world? How can I say goodbye when love is real? Well, I found a safe space, yeah, inside my heart. There's a cave, it turns the blood to stone. I couldn't feel I was getting cold, but you came, shattered my delusions, turning my heart into a question. How can I say goodbye to you? How can I say goodbye to this world? How can I say goodbye when love is real? Time's moving past me, and now I know I can feel my time coming. I don't have much time for questions, time to give answers, time to take action. Don't let blood turn to stone. You think you're safe till it hits the bone. When you came, it ended my confusion, 'cause you let love answer the questions. And it's how I will say goodbye to you. It's how I will say goodbye to this world. It's how I will say goodbye. Love is real, and it's how I can say goodbye. That's the trippy part. The part that's it's like you're looking into I don't know, a magnifying glass or something, and it inverts on itself. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, yeah, when you the way that you can say goodbye is just through expression of love and acceptance, and that you say goodbye by choosing that at least what you are going to give to the world is going to be a loving expression. What you are going to give to the world is love to the best of your ability, and that's how you can say goodbye. So I think that's it. So what's up, Hunter? All right, I got another one for you guys. This one's called "Found Myself Again," and I wrote this one in Long Beach, California. And when I wrote this, I was either living in my van or living in the old carriage house garage that Therese and Richard let me stay in. Two people that I didn't know before I went to LA, and just extended that kindness to me. So I was driving around in my van, and I remember I wrote this song, and when it came to me, I just was like crying. I was just crying for like, I don't know, maybe a week straight. I want to tune up a little bit while I talk here. Yeah, like just driving around and crying, because I just realized I had been so lost. And I don't know if anybody else out here or out there on the internet has experienced something like this with songwriting. But for me, when I got this song, I was like, it was a realization that I was sort of saved, or I had the ability to discover my heart again. Maybe I should preface this with I saw your comment. I maybe should preface this with the Beautiful Frankenstein song, which is kind of how I opened up this live stream. That Beautiful Frankenstein, I was doing that album in Nashville. And for me, this was another interesting moment, almost the same exact thing, but in the inverse direction. So I had driven out to California. I was living in my van, and then these people were really kind to me. I got to work with Nathan Douglas, who gave me like tons of opportunity to have paid recording work, where he brought musicians to my humble studio and recorded with me, and I think we got probably over 100 in total, somewhere around that, of different sessions that we had together. And Richard and Therese allowing me to use their carriage house for that purpose, 2 blocks from the beach in Long Beach, from the ocean, where I could bike down and go kite surfing. I mean, it turned into a dream come true, and I really connected to the Long Beach community in a lot of ways, the open mic scene, and I started hosting my own open mic that did really well, and got decent gigging opportunities, put together like mini festivals, and it was really an amazing experience in a lot of ways. And so riding that high of this experience, and it was one of the first times in my life, not the first, but one of the first times where I really felt like I had kind of found my own place. I felt accepted. I felt even kind of popular, and that had never been the case for me. I wasn't like unpopular, but I was not. I was like a little bit of a nerdy kid or something like that. I was a weird nerdy kid. I was weird. Yeah, I had my own niche, I guess, but anyway. So I'm experiencing that. I'm kind of riding that high, and I guess I'll just say too, it was one of the first times in my life where I felt like the opposite sex took an interest in me, and really saw value in me, and so I'm riding all that this experience, and then I sit down to write a song that I was thinking was going to be in the vein of John Mayer, and I sit down and start writing it, and then Beautiful Frankenstein comes out, and it's just the darkest. I'm like, whoa, and I just realized I was in a really dark place. That it's weird because it like took a song to wake me up to that. That the way that I had been living was just not okay, and I needed to wake up to that, and this song came, and it showed me that, and then I knew I had to make a change, because if that expression could come out of me, something was not right, and I have to change. I've got to get out of this place, and so so Beautiful Frankenstein happened, and then Found Myself Again came, and when Found Myself Again came, it was freaking amazing. And I just, like I said, I just was driving around in my van for like a week or maybe even more, just listening to the song on repeat and just crying. And I don't know, it was an amazing experience. It might sound completely ridiculous, but it's like when you realize something it was a realization that just brought me to tears. And anyway, I'll play these songs. So the first one is Beautiful Frankenstein. I haven't played it in a while. I'm just a beautiful Frankenstein, taking pieces from souls still alive. Shrill the stench of rotting appendages, not the way they wanted to die. I just wanted to stay alive. I just wanted to stay alive. I'm just a broken Prince Charming, foolishly bled my heart dry. I once sought after the strong that would prosper, and now I will and ask myself why I just wanted to stay alive. Why I just wanted to stay alive. just a cowardly Robin Hood. I beg from the rich, take from the poor. I stand and study the suffering of others, and take until I can't take anymore. I just want to stay alive. 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 I am just a beautiful Frankenstein. I am just a beautiful Frankenstein. And I just want to stay alive. All right, so we got that one. That one came out, and I was like, "Whoa!" Yeah. So that one came out, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then I can't remember how long before this one came, but this one came, and yeah. Found myself gonna be a man, gonna give my life and do what I can. I've been afraid too long, all of your fears be gone. I found myself again. When I went looking is when I lost it, thinking I had something to find. How long will we tell the same stories of it was right here all the time? And what about these lost years I lived in vain? They only bring you pain. Through the sunshine, through the rain, I'm gonna hold my head up high. And for those that scar in my song, hope you find the reasons why. Ain't got no time for lost years, ain't got nothing to prove. So many better things out here to do. Found myself again, found myself again, found myself again. Oh, I trust myself again, I love myself again, proud of myself again. Oh, it's a simple song, one I wanna write. A simple song, it just takes a long time. It takes a long time. myself again. Oh, I trust myself again. I love myself again. Proud of myself again. Oh, ooh, found myself again. Something like that. Yeah. That was a nice song to come along. All right, I'll tell you guys what I think. I think the beauty of that song is, I mean, maybe it speaks for itself, but I think it's just that you can always find yourself again. You know, whenever you get lost, whenever you feel like, just, I don't know, down or whatever it is, you can always find your spirit and your drive. There's that, as long as you're still living, you can do good, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so we got, I'm gonna do this song. This is called Groovy Song. This is a song that my band plays together, and another song that was kind of written during COVID, and a similar message to American Grace, just about feeling good and being together, I guess. So we go. Here we go. I wanna write a groovy song, one that makes me sing along. I wanna write something to ease my troubled mind. A groovy song, one that makes me hum along. I wanna write something that makes it feel alright. 'Cause in this messed up world we're living in, and the messed up way it's going, I get messed up thinking about the end, but I don't want to mess up, so that's not where I'm going. I want to write a groovy song, one that makes me sing along. I want to write something that's cordial and polite. A groovy song, one that makes me sing along. I want to write something that makes me feel alright. And all it takes is for everyone to sing a special song together, together, together. We can play a groovy song, one that helps us get along. We could play something that puts it all behind. A groovy song, turn right where it went wrong. We could play something that makes it all alright. A groovy song, you know we all belong. We can play something that helps us all unwind. A groovy song, and be dancing all night long. We could play a groovy song tonight. Move your body, sing and feel alright. It all alright. Alright. Pretty close, pretty close, pretty close. Hey, no, that was good. That's good. I'm okay. that. Alright, I'm trying to think of maybe one more song here. And then it's time to do some grocery shopping. What do I want to say here? I am thinking about, I really kind of want to, I'm trying to think about pulling the trigger. I got these great flyers here. I'll show these flyers. So I had those flyers made a while back. My band, we tried to host Mic Club at Tin Roof, and it was cool. We had two different events that happened. We were trying to do a monthly, but I just realized it wasn't going to work. But there was good stuff about it. But I think ultimately what needs to happen, or what needs to be, it does have to be a weekly. It needs to be a weekly thing, and I think the target is going to be weekly on Tuesdays. We were doing it on Tuesdays before, and I want to do it again. And I'm thinking I might just try to make it happen again at Tin Roof and really push them to see if we can do Tuesdays. Just take Tuesday nights, and then I would just it would be a labor of love. I would just do it for free, and yeah, basically that. And so hopefully it's something that they would be open to. Or maybe I need to find a different venue, but I like that venue as an option because it's not too far from my house. I think it's in a really good location. It's a cool venue. I don't have to set up the PA. I just show up, set up like the cajon or a drum set if we're doing a drum set, whatever. I think it's just a good place. Got a cool stage. Got a lot of history. I think it'd be a great. It's overall just a great spot for my club. So, but I had those flyers printed and then never really got to put them to use. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, those flyers are too good. Like, I can't not use them. Like, I have to sacrifice the next 6 months to a year just because those flyers are good. So, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. So, yeah. But I'd like to do it, and I'd like to get my studio a lot more activated. And I think that's something. I feel like maybe coming into a good time to really settle in and make a good push here. And I'd like to sort of activate my studio so it's just used for a lot more purposes. Just got, they put AT&T fiber in my neighborhood. And so the upload speeds are ridiculous now, which means the live streams and if I was doing eOpen Mic again, those kinds of things where I'm hosting and streaming a number of different people from within the studio, that's going to be literally no problem. It's so the internet speeds are like way more than capable of handling it. So it's like I'm geared up. It should be good to go now. So I don't know. That's but maybe it's something to look out for. If people want me to do my club again, maybe let me know. All right, I think I got one more song for you guys. Riff that I haven't figured out what's gonna go with it. All right, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I could do a big picture, but I feel like there's one I'm definitely missing. I could do a Spanish one. All right, this is for all my Spanish-speaking fans. Una poquita y una semana. Pasamos en México, en México tomamos fotos, maneje un auto y vemos cualquier que se puede, y otro tiempo puede ser. Vamos a regresar, pero a este momento nuestro corazón es lo mismo con el mar. Cancún, Valladolid, las playas del Carmen y Tulum, Cenote, Ukulele. Estamos felices y perdidos en quesería, quesería, quesería. Nosotros comimos comida tan buena, vemos animales que antes nunca ver, hablamos mucho, abrazos dulces, una promesa se levanta dentro de sí. Cancún, Valladolid, las playas del Carmen y Tulum, Cenote, Ukulele. Estamos felices y perdidos en quesería, quesería, quesería. Yo te amaría, yo te prometería que cosas estaría diferente desde este vez. Yo te abrazaría, yo te escucharía, las cosas en tu alma que quieren viajar a conocer. Cancún, Valladolid, las playas del Carmen y Tulum, Cenote, Ukulele. Estamos felices y perdidos. I will love you, I promise you. In my heart you will be forever known. All right, so I'll give you a quick rundown on the lyrics. So this song I wrote in Cancun, and my wife had planned a trip for us to go to Cancun. One of the things about Shuang is she loves to explore. That's kind of her part of what defines her. You know, in another time, she probably would have been one of the great explorers, traveling the seas and finding new places. Maybe. But it's part of who she is, and so it takes us to different places, and I never would have gone to Cancun if I didn't know her. One of the reasons for that is I always heard that Cancun is kind of a college party destination. It's like the next level up from Panama City Beach, and I just didn't feel like that would be my scene at all. And but turns out you go there and it is stunning, and there's a lot of beauty to see. There's a lot of culture to experience, and there's a lot for you to do if you rent a car. And so we rented a car, saw all these different places, and the experience, it came at a time where that was a sensitive thing for me. It was something I was learning about my wife that I didn't fully appreciate because I felt like I needed to focus on career, I needed to focus on work, and any of these trips were just costing money. And we're making it a lot harder to make progress, and that money needed to go to business investments and getting ourselves situated, and you know that whole side of things. Sort of figured out, you know, how are we going to prolong ourselves? So, but and so that experience, that's kind of what the song is about. Is it dives into that, and I think I really did something cool with the Spanish language here. I just don't ever get to hardly play it for Spanish speakers. It's so rare. There's only been one experience where I was like, that person is totally in it, and they loved it, and I knew they understood the words, and it meant something to them. But let's see. Yo te prometería que cosas estaría. So the bridge goes, I promise you. Yo te prometería that things will be, que cosas estaría different desde esta vez, different after this time. Yo te abrazaría, I will hug you. Yo te escucharía, I'll listen to you. Las cosas en tu alma, the things in your soul, que las cosas en tu alma, que quieren viajar a conocer, that the things in your soul that want to travel to know. Cancún, Valladolid, las playas del Carmen y Tulum, Cenote, Ucule, and that's just naming places. Like Cancun, that's a place in Valladolid, a really cool place to check out in Mexico. Las playas, the beaches, del Carmen y Tulum, Cenote, these beautiful underwater caves. They're like caves with water, not underwater caves. Caves that you go down into, and they've got these, I guess, where they used to have certain kinds of rituals or something. And they're just these dark caves with pools of water you can swim in, and there's fish. Cenote. And then I made up the word ukulele, just a made up Spanish word for ukulele, because I brought a ukulele. You can make up things in music. It doesn't need to be real. It fits what you need. So ukulele. Estamos feliz, we're happy and lost y perdido in what would be or what could be. Que sería, que sería, que sería. Yeah, so that's Cancun. I think what it gets into is sort of there's a beautiful aspect of us as people, that there's desire that compels us. You know, we have bad desires, and good desires, but sometimes it seems to me that there can be sort of a path that's for you, and when you can feel it when you're more tapped into it, and that for Shuang I think has a lot to do with travel and exploration, and so that was sort of a realization that's a part of who she is, and that's part of what she needs to do to sort of fulfill herself, and so that's something along those lines. So yeah. What's up, DW? All right. So on that note, we were just in Bermuda, and Bermuda is amazing. Highly recommend to anyone to go to Bermuda. If you think you can't afford it, reach out to me, and we can tell you the Airbnb that we stayed at, because it was like $115 a night. Had a kitchen, a bathroom, a shower. It was great. It was right on the water of this big bay. It's just stunning water. Day one, we saw a sea turtle swimming around in the bay in our front yard, basically. And they have kayaks that you can take out, and we rented a scooter. The scooter's a little expensive. That was like I don't know, $250 or maybe more than that for 4 days. But it was worth it. It was amazing to just jam around. You know, you're not going at high speeds. Relatively safe. I don't want to. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't feel like it was that dangerous. You want to be careful in certain places, but overall the traffic is not that much, and it's not overwhelmed by tourism. Just beautiful. So many different places you can get to and explore. Yeah, highly recommend it. We've been to a number of different places: Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Mexico, Cabo, Cancun, Mallorca, Spain. In terms of like sort of beach destinations, those are different places I've seen, and Bermuda is right up there at the top. It's really worth it, and not too far from us. It's like right on the same longitude. So on that note, I've got a video dropping on my YouTube channel that dives into a document on Sunday. On Sundays, every Sunday at 10 a.m., I'm putting out a YouTube video. I try to put some time into this one. I wasn't able to put as much time, but I still think it's interesting and hopefully is useful to people. But I found a document that covers the live music scene in Bermuda. Almost compelled me to want to move there because it's just beautiful and low-key, and everybody's super chill and nice and helpful, and if you break down on the road, like, everyone's going to stop and help you. Really cool place and culturally ambiguous, and so it's just like really open-minded and a lot of possibility and potential there. And this document almost motivated me to want to move. It's amazing. Like, Charleston needs one of these. Probably every music scene needs one of these documents. And so I got a video at 10 a.m. on Sunday that's going to go on my YouTube channel, Book Noah Grove, at Book Noah Grove is the handle. That's going to go into that document. It gives the link, and it's just really cool because it just dives into what makes up a music scene, and all the different components that go into it, probably way beyond what you would typically think about. And it's really useful because one of the things is it can help you not sort of be frustrated at yourself for in unnecessary ways. So you can learn more about why different things happen, and even things that might affect how you develop just because of the facts or the sort of the, there's a word, just the makeup of the scene that you're in. That's not exactly what I wanted to go for, but it's a cool document, so if anybody's interested, go check that out. Could do La Ventana. I think I'm gonna end it there. I don't know if anybody has a request. Yeah, there is, the history of Bermuda is amazing. I'm not even playing music anymore. I'm now the History Channel. So the history of Bermuda was really cool. We drove to this on the scooter. We went to this thing called Fort St. Catherine, and you learned a lot about history, and just particularly as it pertains to this fort, but it dove into giving you more of an understanding of Bermuda. And by the way, the music document does that too. It really gives you some insight into what's actually going on in Bermuda through the lens of a live music scene, but you realize how connected live music is to everything else that's going on in a community or in an area. So Fort St. Catherine is this sort of stone building structure that's pretty large, all these tunnels, and is right there on the edge of the coast. And they've got a bunch of these forts all around the island. And basically what it is it's designed to shoot down ships. And they have all these cannons that are, and they show you exactly what gets loaded into the cannons and how it's loaded up. They've got these chutes that are just gaps in stone that they created so they can hoist up these large bullets on ropes so they can have them stored down like in the ground, and they have people up there that can just keep giving you more up the ropes, get them in the cannons and blast the ships. And you see all these muskets and bayonets and how they used to do battle. You learn about Bermuda actually played a role in the War of Independence, or in the United States gaining independence, and that I guess the gunpowder plot, the Great Gunpowder Plot. Maybe some of y'all have studied that in school, but to learn more about it, and that it's really unknown as to whether it was really stolen or Bermuda just gave a whole bunch of gunpowder that gave George Washington, I believe, what he needed to succeed in the war, and that without that they may have lost, is the idea. And what seemed to be indicated is there's a good chance of losing, and that really was a big turning point for them to get all that gunpowder. And that Bermuda, even though they're under the sort of rule of Britain, that they gave the gunpowder for peace, sort of with U.S. And then everyone was really afraid of the Bermudan Islands. No one wanted to go near Bermuda because it was extremely dangerous. They didn't want to mess with anyone. Like, they had all these cannons set up, and they were a fierce place that you would use it as sort of a sign to say, okay, United States is this way, but people wouldn't want to come near. But they had to be careful because there were like a bunch of Spanish ships that wanted to to take over Bermuda as well. It's pretty crazy to think to just think back and that they paid people to watch these forts in tobacco, and so people just would hang out in these stone forts, and that was their job, just to make sure that they're always watching the skyline, and then in exchange they get to, I guess, smoke a whole bunch of tobacco or trade tobacco. That's how they paid them. Pretty crazy. You know, it's this little island just out there, like way out there. 2-hour flight from New York. That's pretty far though, just out there in the middle of the ocean with nothing else around it. And anyway, it's pretty cool, the history. Yeah. You see where they used to cook. You can see the old kitchen. You know, it's pretty cool. Anyway, thanks you guys for hanging out and watching the stream and chiming in the chat. Really appreciate it. Hope everybody's doing good, and I'll pop on again from time to time. Hope to catch you guys again. I think that's it. Peace out, y'all. Have a good rest of your night. Now the awkward transition from here to there.